Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make the Big Noggin Baby lounge lounge crop top. Sorry, I had to look over and see what it was. This is available on their Etsy shop, so I will include a link down below. And this was also requested by a viewer, so here you go. Sorry it took so long. If you have a request, you can always leave it in the comments. And I also wanted to add that I'm making this video in my bedroom, so there's some, sounds and commotion in the background, but hopefully nothing too bad. And thanks again, everybody, for watching my channel and subscribing. We're so close to my goal, which is 1,000 subscribers, so do tell your friends. And let's get started. Okay, so to start, I already have everything cut out, but I also wanted to show you the pattern pieces. I'm doing the 18 to 24 month size for today. Here is the front and back piece. I have those two cut on the fold. I have my two arm cuffs, just, the same shape as this. And then the neckband and the waistband. So, that is all the pieces that we're going to need today. And let's get started with the first step. So the first step is to place your two front and back pieces right sides together. So for me, that means that I'm placing my floral side touching with the other floral side, and the first thing that we're going to do is sew the shoulder, both shoulders, and then both of these arm curves down here. So we're doing 4 parts, and that's what we're going to sew. And I'm going to use a 1/4 seam allowance. That's just what I usually use, even if the pattern calls for something else. But let's get started on that next. Okay, so this is actually my Juki serger, so it's a little different than the brother, but it's still a serger, so that's what I'm using today, and I'm just lining it up to this line. This is the first shoulder. Now we're going to do the second. Actually has a little thread cutter back there. Okay, now I'm going to do those, I don't know if I should call them armpit holes. I never know what to call this area, but you know what I mean, under the arm. And I just kind of, try to make sure all the layers are together. And I also, since this is a curve, try to straighten it out. So how it's starting to curve here, I'm just going to straighten it. So push the fabric towards the left. I basically try to create a line even if it's a curve. And then same with the other side. And we're almost done. Okay, now I'll show you what that looks like. So my table's pretty small, but this is what it will look like with all the 4 parts that we sew together. Next, we're going to move on to, what should we do? Let's do the neckband first. So this is the neckband, and I'm just going to fold it in half so that the right sides of the fabric are touching, and we're going to sew down here. I'll actually do that off camera, and you literally just sew it right here. So here is the neckband, and since the front and back are the same, you can now decide which one you actually want to be your front. I like this as the front just because of the floral. But okay, now we are going to find the center. So all I'm doing is folding this in half. We're going to find the center back, add a clip, and the center front, add a clip. And I like to use different colors just so I remember. So for the back, I'm going to use blue, and that's where you're going to take your neckband and fold it like this. So now it's a little circle with all the right side of the fabric facing outward. And then we're going to line up the seam with the back clip. And just clip it on like this. Then I'm going to find the center front of this neckband. and that's where I'm going to clip with the green clip. And then I like to kind of stretch it just to see how it's going to fit in there. Normally neckbands are small, so it looks like we're gonna have to stretch it quite a bit. So what you can do now is add 2 more clips, and let me see if I can find those. Okay, so I found 2 more clips, and all you're going to do is, like I did previously, just stretch it out to meet with the shoulder seam and clip it there. Same with the other side. This is gonna really help guide you and know, so that you know how much to stretch. So now when you go to sew, I normally start in the back, which is my blue clip here, and I stretch it, and then I put it under the serger and make sure that I'm only stretching the neckband. So this is how I'm going to place it in the serger, and I'll go ahead and show you that now. Okay, so like I said, I'm starting from the back clip, and I'm just going to place it. For this, I do want to cut a little bit off just because I like my neckband slimmer. So I'm going to line it up with this little knob here. And again, I'm only stretching the top neckband. Sorry for my daughter in the background. And then I'm going to line it up here. And then once you get to the next clip, just remove it. Make sure you're lining up everything and stretching that top neckband. It's okay if you're not lining it up perfectly. Just try your best. My phone is directly in front of my face, so if you see me go a little bit off, that's why. Okay, now we're almost to the start. So what I like to do is keep going. And then once I notice that I'm about to cut everything off, I like to, what's it called? I like to aim this area where, you see how it started curving here? Well, once it straightens out, that's where I like to aim. So around here, I'm going to aim my knife towards this area. And once everything is cut, I like to go a little bit further, or a little bit more. And then I'm slowly, with this serger, I don't like to disengage my knife because it's a little harder, but now you would disengage your knife and then serge off. And I don't know where my scissors are, but let me show you now what it looks like. So this is what the neckband looks like. It did get a little wavy, which is pretty typical when you have to really stretch the neckband, so, but it'll look better once I turn it right sides out. So now we're going to go ahead and work on our armbands. It's going to be the exact same idea, fitting the neckband inside the circle. But now it's a lot smaller. So I'm going to take my armbands, and again, same with the neckband, fold it in half and sew along the raw edges. 1/4 seam allowance. I'll do both and then show you how I'm going to attach it. Here's one of the neckbands, and all I'm going to do, or one of the armbands, is the same that I did earlier. So we're just gonna flip it so that the wrong sides of the fabric is touching each other. And then I'm lining everything up. And I like to put this seam directly underneath here. So not the top seam, but this bottom one. We're going to put a clip there. I actually normally don't clip areas this small, but just in case. So it looks like it's going to fit pretty well in there. So you could add another clip just to be safe, but I'm just going to keep that one on. And we're going to do now is put this again under our serger and just go all the way around. So I'm actually going to take the clip off because I like to try and line up these first. So all I'm going to do is 1/4 seam allowance, so I'm not going to cut anything off, just start. I don't like this foot as much because it's a little tighter, but you could even put it underneath the foot like this. And then to make sure that I'm lining these up, all I really do is put them together and then pinch right on top as hard as I can, just to make sure that nothing's moving. And then you just, you know, bring the fabric over and keep going. Make sure you're catching all 3 layers of fabric. Cut this tail off and keep going. Then I just serge off. And I'm going to do the same with the other armband, and then we'll move on to the waistband. Okay, now we're on to the waistband, and I'm going to do, it's still the exact same thing. We're just going to fold our waistband in half and serge it at these raw edges over here. And then I'll be back once that's done. Okay, so there's that, and now we are going to do the same thing that we did with the neckband. Sorry, I keep bumping into my tripod. And we are going to find the center, front, and back. I like to make sure that the back is the same as the back on the neckband, since I lined it up. So here's the back, so I know to put my blue clip there for the back. And then all the other colors, I don't really mind which one it is. But there's our center back, center front. And then we already know that the sides are the left and right centers. So now we're going to open our waistband, and same exact idea. Just turn it so that the wrong sides are touching each other and the right sides are out. I'm going to line up the seam side with the back seam. Or I mean the back clip, the center back. And find the center front. Line it up. And then same with the sides. So I normally just line up these clips together, hold it, and then find this side. You can even put a clip on first and then line it up with this and then put it back there. However you want to do it. Okay, I'll do it right now. Alright, everybody, give me a second. So here's what it looks like with all 4 clips. And remember, you only want to stretch the waistband. So you can even, you know, grab 2 clips and then stretch the waistband on top. But it looks like it's going to fit pretty nicely in there. So nothing too crazy where you need to overstretch it. And I'm going to start in the back again. So let's head to the serger. So I have everything lined up and I'm just going to go for it. And I'm not cutting off anything. Again, just grab your 3 layers. Remember, always take off your clips or your pins, especially. Those are kind of important because you don't want to run them over and then ruin your surgery. I'm not really having to stretch this waistband, so it's looking pretty good. Okay, we're almost there, so I'm just going to cut off this tail and keep going for about 1 inch. And then I start to kind of angle off. I don't think I mentioned this, but I normally cut it really close and then pull. This is for my daughter, so I normally just snip it now. But you can even take these 2 threads that came up longer and then tie them out. But since it's just for my daughter, I don't really do that step. But when I do it for my customers, I do. So here it is, all finished. This is a little up close of the armbands, the waistbands. And the neckband still has a little bit of waviness, so you could you could iron it down, you know, just by pressing it, or you could even make the neckband a little bit longer. I would say at 1 inch, and it should help you avoid this problem. I normally have to adjust neckbands anyway when I do patterns, so nothing too major, but that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one. If you want to leave a request for me, you can do so in the comments below, but hope you all enjoyed. Bye now.